We're living at a time of climate crisis, and the signs are all around us that climate change is here today, be that because of extreme heat or other extreme weather events. We know that this is affecting our lives today, both here in the UK and globally. People are reporting higher levels of eco-anxiety. People feel disempowered to act on climate change. There's lots of debates about climate science. So the question we've been trying to answer in education at a time of emergency is, how can we help practitioners enable the people they work with to make a difference? The approach we took in ETE was to engage our project partners from the very start. And we did that through a whole variety of activities, workshops, a residential, and different site visits, but crucially through mentoring with individual partners.
For many of the ETE partners, this has been the first initiative of its kind to adopt this type of collaborative learning approach.
Really important that the work that they do is of the best quality it possibly can be in the time that they have with the groups they're working with. Some of them have their own sites where the public visit, others go into schools and deliver sessions.
We're very much about a kind of immersive experience, and we're constantly exploring ways where we can give children these peak experiences that really do have an impact, and they sort of leave an imprint on their kind of sensory and emotional memory, really. It's about helping the kids to build relationship with us, with the land, with their activities that they're doing.
Just the simpleness of being outdoors, meeting outdoors every morning, being in the garden together, harvesting the food, cooking the food, really seeing that relationship with where they are and the relationships between the land, the food, the kitchen, feeding each other.
We particularly wanted to find new ways of measuring our impact and to find that deeper meaning in the work and the impact on the people we were talking to and the children we were talking to. The ETE project has given us that opportunity to explore that.
As a result of this project, I've thought an awful lot about framing and narrative and the sorts of imagery that we use. I've learned a lot about efficacy, and I've really tried to take that learning and make sure that it's part of the sessions that we deliver. We see tens of thousands of young people every year communicating issues around climate change, ecology and biodiversity and things like that. So I do feel a sense of responsibility to make sure that we're doing that to the best of our ability and having the most impact that we can possibly have. And I suppose the ETE project has made me feel more confident that I'm actually able to deliver on that.
I think I approached the project thinking that I was just going to go in and get an answer about how to improve the efficacy of our practice, but really to start trying to think, when I'm going to plan a project, is it going to do what I want it to do? And sometimes that means actually approaching things a little bit differently.
I think it's made us stop and think a lot more about when we're setting off on any new project or writing a new talk or a new workshop. We don't just think, right, that's what we want to tell them, it's how do we frame this? How can we empower the kids? What advocacy message can we get in?
Which beforehand we were just busy trying to be busy, and now we're actually busy trying to create the change we want.
When young people are here at Magdalen, they're outside, they're hands-on. Some of those children who really don't cope well in an indoor classroom environment absolutely excel and shine. And we hear teachers saying, wow, they didn't know that child was capable of whatever it is. Yeah, they can blossom. They can blossom in an environment that's right for them. And someone said on one of the meetings that we had that this is a safeguarding issue. We have a duty of care. We have a duty of care to children, we have a duty of care to the planet about looking after it. And that for me is really profound, and I believe that wholeheartedly.
I think I was maybe expecting it to be quite like hardcore academic theoretical, but I didn't kind of realise how much we'd be like embodying the things that we're trying to instill in young people. So yeah, I think for me personally it's been pretty meaningful, and some of the lessons and the tools that I've learnt from this I've been able to share with my team. So yes, some of that thinking around how we can do more behaviour change is not just relevant for our learning programme, it's relevant for our wider community engagement and our conservation programmes as well.
There's something that's really rich when you bring academic researchers together with practitioners, that just really helps to reinforce the work that you're doing, but also there's a curiosity that's just quite alive in that world.
We're all so busy delivering that we don't always take the time to apply those learnings from the research that's out there. So finding those mechanisms, which the ETE has been about, finding those mechanisms of sharing that learning in our real life scenarios is really vital, I think.
Building a community of practice and learning from one another has brought many benefits, from assessing our current campaign and communication approaches through to exploring what effective environmental education looks like. Most of all, ET has brought people together to help support communities to be actively caring for the natural world.
At the end of those workshops, when I looked around and I saw everybody working together, I saw a group of partners but also a group of friends.
When we asked our participants what they were really looking for from ETE, and this individual said, "I want people to love nature in the way that I do."
So bringing together diverse expertise and approaches, we've developed a model for environmental education practice. So with the guidance of programs like ETE, it's caring and committed educators like these who bring real inspiration and hope.